college football all day. It's a Football Friday right here on The Zone. Whether it's the Utes, Cougars, or Aggies, we've got you covered. This is a Football Friday edition of Hans Olsen and Scotty G, presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
It is Football Fridays. Coach Ron McBride, Alema Harrington, getting you ready for BYU and Texas Tech. A big-time matchup. We just spent a whole hour with it. So if you missed that hour and some of Coach Mac's takes on Joey McGuire and BYU's current situation and Alema Harrington's takes on LJ Martin's importance and what this offense needs to do, you can go back and listen to that hour, and you can catch up on things. Utah was on a bye week, and I think we kind of all three in the break agreed it's not the perfect time for a bye week, but still, Coach, you can get a lot out of it if you're Utah.
Absolutely. Utah's always dealt good with bye weeks in its history. You know, you're going back a long ways and utilizing the time properly. At that time, of course, the development of players was really important. Mm-hmm. Nowadays, you know, there's no development. You know, if a kid's not good enough, get him out of it.
Yeah, it's true. They cut him.
Go to Laporto and get the next guy.
People aren't aware of how many cuts there are.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Kids are getting sent home.
Because a lot of these kids, if you hang with them, they're going to be really good players. But you got to invest some time with them. But now you don't look at a kid as being a 3, you know, in his third year, you know, redshirt year, 2 years, third year he's going to become really good. You don't see that anymore.
Yeah, you let somebody else develop them. Right. Then you go talk to your GM, your collective guy, and say we need this guy. Yep. And this is tell me how much it's going to cost, but whatever it is, you pay it, and we just bring them in.
And you're going to go to Utah Tech and go see if those coaches can help you, but we don't have a spot for you.
Yeah.
Utah's got a lot of work to do with the 3 games in front of them. Next week they're at Baylor. So Baylor's a tough team. It's a good offense, one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Baylor's tough on anybody just because of how they're designed. I don't think they're a great team, but I think they're a team that can beat you because they have tough kids. The head coach is a tough guy, very quiet, not a real verbal guy, but very smart.
And he's coaching for his job right now.
Yeah,
he needs to finish strong.
I tell you what, there's a lot of guys coaching for their jobs. I mean, if we owe you $11 million, so what?
Yeah, if the buyout's $50 million, we don't care.
Yeah, we don't care.
$200 million in dead money now.
Yeah, crazy.
So it's just there's 5 jobs in the SEC right now. Is that right?
There's 12 jobs total. Between the Power 4 and Power 5s. There was 12 jobs last week. There might be another one this week, but there were 12 open. Auburn's open. Arkansas's open. Let's see, Arkansas, Auburn. Trying to think of the other SEC. Can you think of another SEC team that's open?
Not off the top of my head.
But, there's plenty, Coach.
Yeah, but, I like Arkansas was really big in recruiting. They got some really, like the All-Star game in Hawaii with the high school kids. Arkansas had at least 4 kids in that game.
LSU and Florida. LSU, Florida.
Yeah.
Auburn, Arkansas.
Well, so LSU, I mean, that guy's a pretty good coach.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, he's hot, then he's cold.
Yeah.
But they went through that with the guy from SC too.
Yeah.
He was hot, and then a couple of years later,
there's zero tolerance.
Yeah,
zero patience.
Yeah, and if we got to pay the guy, so what?
Just what we described for the players. It's like, hey, then you're gone.
Yeah.
Like if you can't play right now, if you can't win right now, you're gone.
Yep. And the guy, I thought the guy at Penn State was really a good coach.
Yeah. Still is. I mean, you have a season like that. It happens.
That was a lot of money that they sent out the door.
Sweeney, I mean, you look at the guy didn't all of a sudden become a terrible coach.
Yeah.
No, it just things happen.
Yeah, it's a cyclical business.
Then Oklahoma State.
Yeah,
Oklahoma State's open in the Big 12.
Well, so he got rid of all of his coaches last year.
Yeah,
brought in all new coaches, and then all of a sudden, he has some problems. Now he's gone. So all these assistant coaches, I don't know what kind of contracts they have, whether it's 2 year or 1 year, but all of a sudden these guys all thinking, well, I got a really secure job.
You can't go there because there's security there.
Yeah,
and you're on the streets.
They took 2 guys out of Utah State.
Yeah,
DJ Tialavea.
Yeah, DJ.
And I'm sure DJ went there thinking, oh, I got some security.
Be there forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they took the offensive line coach that was at Utah State that offered my son. They took it, and he's a former Oklahoma State player. They took him there, and now he's like, DJ, hopefully he'll come back to this state.
Yeah.
Well, when he was here,
awesome.
he was hot.
So they're all the Oklahoma State guys are always looking to, I got to have a job.
Yeah.
So who do I know that's going to get hired at this job? Who would the guy keep at Texas Tech? Probably 2 guys.
Yeah.
So it's a wild world.
That's a tough business.
It's a rodeo. So as Utah kind of clamps down on things, Devin Dampierre getting healthy, that's a big one. Wayshawn Parker took a huge step over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That running back has kind of figured things out.
Yeah.
What are you seeing from Wayshawn, Coach?
Yeah, that's a kid from Washington State.
That's right.
Yeah, he was good at Washington State.
He came with Curly. What do you call him? Not Curly.
Yeah. Chucky.
Chucky. He came with Chucky. Yeah.
My man, Marky Atuayo.
Chucky. So I at one of the games at the rain game, right? So I was inside. I had lunch with Chucky's brother.
Donnie,
yeah.
Donnie's my boy.
So we're sitting there and we're talking. He said, "Well," I said, I'm calling him Chucky.
Yeah.
I said, "Chucky's doing a great job." He said, "Well, he never gets to see his family." I said, "Well, that's just part of the process. I mean, you give up that. Well, he doesn't get to do a number of things with his kids." And I said,
well, he can pay for them to have a horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And good thing his wife is his wife touring with the Jets too? Because she was a member of she's from the Wolfgram family.
Oh, yeah.
The Jets, the singing group from back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when he married her. I played with both Donnie and Marky at BYU. And now Marky's all
I'll tell you, if you're going back to Hawaii, you get in touch with Chucky. And they'll get you set up on the North Shore.
Oh, is that who? He's got the connections on the North Shore
in Hawaii.
I tell you what, Chucky's a good dude.
Yeah, he is.
He's enthusiastic.
He's awesome.
He brings a lot of heart to a team.
Yeah, he does.
And a lot of fun. A lot of just kind of a lot of continuity. So Wayshawn Parker has taken a big step. One thing we've noticed with Jason Beck, and I don't know if this is Jason's call or if it's Kyle Whittingham's call, we're seeing the defensive players really drawn back on the offensive side. We saw Smith Snowden heavy usage, Lander Barton heavy usage. We saw Jackson Benny heavy usage. And now we're seeing guys like Daniel Bray and others that have been implemented to take over where some of those defensive reps were.
Well, I think what you're seeing is more of a team concept, it's not the defense against the offense. It's more a team together. And I think with Carl, I got a text from Carl last week, and he said, this is one of the easiest teams I've ever had to coach. And he said and it's a pleasure to go to work every
That's awesome.
day.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, because what you're saying is the guy's willing to – I'm willing to – what do you need, Coach? Well, I need you to go take some reps on the offense. Okay, I'll go do that.
Yeah.
Right? You got guys that are willing to do that. That makes a huge difference in your locker room.
If it was after the BYU game, I was worried about what was going to happen, whether they were going to kind of fracture a little bit or come together. But what they did is they came together. Coaches, the players, everybody. And you have to give that credit to Kyle. And he put pressure on the assistants. The assistants put pressure on the players, and the players responded.
Yeah, they did. They've played extremely well, disciplined in all their areas. And I feel like the offense is in a really good spot.
And they kind of, they kind of left Jason alone. Like you didn't all of a sudden see Jason going inward.
Yeah.
Where we're gonna do just safe things.
Yeah.
You saw him still wide open. I think what they told Jason, do your thing.
Do your thing.
Yeah, and because that was after the BYU game was a huge test for everybody, because that loss was huge. But everybody's kind of forgot it since then, because what they see is the program has progressed.
Yeah.
And now they're kind of a national team now. So
very recognized, 13th in the CFP.
That Cincinnati win was a big deal, right? That was a big win.
Absolutely.
Right. And you have a lot of attention on you, and ESPN coverage and all of those things, and then you come out.
That whole game day was there.
Yeah, so those kinds of things, and that community, right? That fan base is fantastic, right? The community support is
they
big.
really are,
and
it's powerful.
Yeah,
it's powerful, and I think that the College Football Playoff Committee really acknowledged that when they put them at 13.
Yeah,
because 13 with 3 left, they control their own destiny. You mentioned it; there could potentially be 3. I actually think it'll be a Big 12 champion and potentially Utah.
Yeah.
Because if Utah doesn't get to the Big 12 championship and they win 3, they'll be ranked as high as 9.
Yeah.
And if you're ranked as high as 9 when the committee's putting together the 12-team playoff, number 9 is going in.
Yeah.
Now it's going to be interesting. Will BYU be a 12-0 team, an 11-1? Will Texas Tech be an 11-1? Will that be Texas Tech's second loss? If BYU beats them, will they drop down below Utah? Because then BYU is a Big 12 champion at 11-1, gets in, and then Utah at a 10-2, 9-ranked team gets in. There's a lot of different ways that this thing plays out, but Utah, I think, largely controls their own destiny. Win out. Even if I don't make it to the Big 12 championship, because BYU is a one-loss team, Texas Tech is a one-loss team, or vice versa, Cincinnati is a one-loss team, Texas Tech's a one-loss team. However it plays out, if I just win my 3 games and win by the margin I'm winning by, 30-plus, I think I control my own destiny.
And it's a bit of a pedigree, too, because people – the general population, speaking of, the committee, they're looking at Utah as that's a legacy program.
Right.
That's a program that has earned their right to get consideration.
Right. Multiple Pac-12 championships, multiple Rose Bowl appearances.
Yes.
And putting up a really good performance against them, too. And, what was nice is you watched Arizona State, who gets the Big 12 bid last year, and they take Texas to double overtime. They nearly upset Texas in that first round. So I think that the Big 12 has made some steps forward. For instance, the top-ranked ACC team, Virginia, is 14th, below the third-ranked team in Utah in the Big 12 at 13th. So that's telling me that the ACC is a 1 bid, the Big 12 is at a minimum 2 bid, and then the SEC is going to probably fill up the rest.
Yeah.
But it's looking really good for the Big 12. Gentlemen, thank you. I'm going to
safe travels.
We'll hand it off to Scotty G. He'll be on with Alema and Coach Mack. He'll take you home to 3 o'clock. That's more Football Fridays coming up next.
All college football all day. It's a Football Friday right here on the Zone. Whether it's the Utes, Cougars, or Aggies, we've got you covered. This is a Football Friday edition of Hans Olsen and Scotty G, presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hans Olsen, Scott Garrard, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Hans Olsen, folks, has left the building. Now we can really have some fun. How you guys doing?
Good.
Scotty G, you got some basketball coming up?
Yeah, I'm in Dallas right now. Actually, I'm in Frisco, Texas, just outside of Dallas. And calling a basketball game tonight. And then we'll head on. Got an early flight. Hopefully it doesn't get canceled tomorrow morning. And then we'll drive up to Logan for Utah State and Nevada. So we got little planes, trains, and automobiles going on right now.
I love this time of the year. I love when football and basketball overlap a little bit, and you get to, especially the guys like us that are in the business of covering all sports and get an opportunity to do everything. That's a lot of fun.
Oh, it's the best. It's the best.
Very busy.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, Coach, I know you've been talking about this game a lot with Hans, but I just want to reset just how big this game is for the BYU. I just think that you're looking at probably, am I safe to say, the biggest game in Kalani Sitake's career as a coach?
I would say so, yeah. I mean, it doesn't get any bigger than this. I mean, I think BYU's 8-0 going into this game, and playing a really good football team. I mean, this game is so pivotal, or whatever the word is, the correct word. But it's
7 versus 8.
Yeah, this could. Let's say BYU wins this game, it propels them huge.
Yeah.
And then each game gets bigger. Mm-hmm. So and there's a lot to be done by 3 or 4 teams in this league on the last 3 or 4 games of the year.
And as a coach, you got to manage this thing. And I love the mantra that you've heard coming out of BYU, Scotty, which is humble and hungry. And go 1-0 this week. Not getting too caught up. It's easy. I mean, it's our business to get caught up in all of the the stuff that is on the periphery. But for the team in that locker room, it's really got to be one game. Just this game.
Yeah, take it, as they say, take it one game at a time. And
do you treat this game a little differently in terms of how you motivate a team and talk about what's on the line and just how big of a, or do you say, no, it's just another day at the office, go out and do your job?
Well, the players know.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to do that.
If you have to get them excited to play this game and use up a lot of energy on psychological stuff, it's probably not a good result. But if you just kind of going about your business, but the players know, the leaders know, everybody knows what's at stake, So, and this is a pretty mature group. If you're a team kind of trying to find your way, well, then you got to look for ways to get your players to have the confidence to play in big games if they haven't been there before. But, this is just, this is kind of, if you, in the football business, you'd say this is an earned game.
Yeah.
In other words, they've earned their way into this opportunity. And and believe me, every week has not been a blowout for BYU.
Yeah. Every
week they've had to earn their living. So it isn't like, if we're going to dominate Colorado, we're going to dominate Arizona, they found a way in, not a way out.
Yeah.
And it's a testament to the coaches, a testament to the players, a testament to the resolve, and they've done you got to give them credit. I mean, they've done a great job, and if you watch them practice, they practice like they belong.
Yeah.
So yeah.
One of the things, Scotty, that I love about the BYU is the maturity on this team. And then when I look across the board, especially in that receiver room, including the tight ends, and I think Utah kid, Roy High School, American Fork High School, Corner Canyon. So from Hagen to to Hansen. These guys, they're all Utah guys, and for the state, I think it's a fantastic. And you can say the same thing for Barton or Snowden. For looking at the University of Utah, same thing. But it's big for the state of Utah.
Yeah. Well, Utah's roster, they brought in 60 new players.
Yeah.
Okay, guys from all over the country.
Yeah.
If you look at BYU's roster, they kept bringing in more Utah kids.
Yeah.
And the thing I learned a long time ago is when we kind of emerged, we did it with Utah kids. And because a lot of people didn't necessarily respect the Utah players. Thought, well, we go to California, we're going to get a better player. We go to Texas,
Florida,
we get a
right?
player.
Yeah.
But the kids, for instance, if you're developing a player, you got a better chance to develop a player from Utah because he's at home.
Yeah.
And therefore, he's going to be more committed to your university. He belongs. If you got an outside kid, how soon can this guy get where he really belongs?
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of value to the in-state player.
Well, Alema, I just love the fact that when we're doing this show and we talk about an individual player, you immediately go back and say, well, when I was calling a game of his at Quarter Canyon, or when I called a game at Lone Peak, or whatever the case is, because that gives so much like a relatability, since we're making up words, in terms of just knowing who these guys are.
Yeah.
And so you've got a connection. And I'm not just talking about you as a broadcaster, but fans that watch games or go to games are like, yeah, I saw that kid as a sophomore, and now look what he's doing. I mean, there's a lot of pride involved in that.
Yeah, he's a homegrown kid. I remember watching Parker Kingston as a quarterback at Roy High School, right? Or Cody Hagan, or Chase Hansen, and Carson Ryan. All of these guys playing here locally, and it's not just the big schools because I'm naming off some of those, but we're talking Kearns High School across the state. That you got these kids that are starting to blossom. And for us watching here locally, I think it's always a sense of pride that they're getting this kind of national attention, and it's good for high school football here in the state because these kids now they're looking at it as an opportunity instead of I'm going to go to some place in the SEC. I'm going to go play at Oklahoma. I'm going to play at Texas, whatever the case may be, and that's great. And Tausili Akana ended up at Texas. Now it's back home. Look at Suamataia ends up goes to Oregon, then comes back. And so these guys, I love the transfer portal offering an opportunity for these guys to come back home. And, so you can say the same thing for Puka Nakua, who starts off at Washington and then comes back home. It's big for the community to see these guys have the success and to be able to have it at the University of Utah or the BYU or at Utah State. These kids have and I think that Utah State is going to get a lot of these kids that wanted to stay home and couldn't go to Utah, couldn't get to BYU, and they end up at Utah State. They're going to get a flood of talent, especially with Bronco Mendenhall there.
Yeah.
Well, there's no doubt, too. And the fact, I look at a guy like Bryson Barnes.
Yeah.
Bryson is made for the Mountain West Conference.
Oh, yeah.
He has absolutely flourished, and if he had a better offensive line, he'd probably be in the conversation for Mountain West Conference Player of the Year this year.
Yeah.
But he's kind of running around for his life a little bit. But there's no doubt, he could have hung out at Utah, drove in his truck, and enjoyed life down there at Utah, but not seen the field a lot. Or he comes to Logan, gets a ton of playing time, and can really showcase his skills against good teams at a pretty good level, too.
Well, he really fit the offensive style, and he's a born winner, and he's flourished in Broncos program.
Coach, when you have a offensive line that has struggles throughout the course of the season, you can't trade for a player, you can't sign free agents. How do you try? Do you have to maybe scheme to hide some of the issues that you have when you're dealing with a inferior offensive line like Utah State may be dealing with right now?
Well, what you do is you take a look at what the kid's weakness is, and then you try to take that weakness away from him. And then you have to work on little things to get him to make the right steps. And sometimes, let's say a guy doesn't have great feet. Then what you do is he aggressive? Then you take away the thought process from him of steps. You say, your eyes will take your steps. So you just put your eyes on your target, come off full speed, and then let's say you got too many calls on the line of scrimmage where this call is made, this call is made. You try to take all the thinking away from the player and let the coach do the thinking and make it simple. And what you try to do is simplify it so the kid can have success. So you have to coach to his level, not to your levels. So you have to look and see, okay, how does this kid learn?
Yeah.
Does he learn by writing something on the board? Does he learn by watching film? Does he learn by how do you make him better? So rather than saying he's no good, you got to find a way to make him believe in himself and get him better, because you have to change a certain way you coach him, because he learns better this way. And if he has some deficiencies, you can't just say, well, he's no good. You know, and then all of a sudden he's no good for the whole season.
Yeah. And
you're trying to cover him up. But if you figure a way, okay, how can I get him better? What is his weakness? And so you just have to, it's like teaching in a classroom.
Yeah.
Every student learns differently. But the kid has to have a heart, first of all. If he doesn't have a heart to play the game, then you got a problem.
Yeah, then you got to find somebody else. And as, like Scotty's saying, you're kind of at the point of the season where, you got what you got.
Yeah.
You can start to look in the portal and game plan for next year. But right now, for Utah State, you're trying to get bowl eligible. And that means you got to take the guys that you got and make them the best they can be, and, somehow find ways to accentuate the positive that you have at the quarterback position. And whether that means that you shorten the drops and then you get the ball out quicker, there's going to be things that you're going to have to do to hide the deficiencies that you might have on the offensive line. But now, if you're the Aggies right now, you're thinking, okay, what do we need to do to be able to finish the season and be bowl eligible? And then you have BYU, Utah, and Utah State. You could have Utah and BYU both in the college football playoffs, and Utah State going to a bowl game.
Yeah, so you just, it's just a matter of, analyzing, and you can't keep telling the kid he's not good.
Yeah.
Because when you do that, he's going to become not good. And he's going to question mark. He gives up a sack, and he's thinking about it for the next 3 plays. So therefore, then he maybe get caught holding. I know that I remember at Arizona we went into a game, 2 games, where the right tackle, who was an All-American, is out. The guy playing behind him is not good. So I just taught him to hold. Yeah, I said you're gonna hold on every down.
Yeah, they can't call it every time.
Yeah, just keep your hands inside, and don't
stay inside the frame.
Inside the frame.
And if he pulls away, then you got to let him go.
Yeah, and drag him if you have to, but. And the kid scored out like 94%.
There you go.
And he said, "How come I haven't been starting?"
That might be my favorite story you've ever told, Coach. That's a classic right there.
Yeah, hold on every time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Just keep.
All right, we'll wrap things up next.
Grab the jersey, drag. Hey, call it the drag technique.
All right. Yeah, there you go. We're going to teach you the pull method here, and we're gonna make sure that our quarterback stays clean. Oh, that's great. Hans and Scotty, final segment next. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All college football, all day. It's a Football Friday right here on the Zone. Whether it's the Utes, Cougars, or Aggies, we've got you covered. This is a Football Friday edition of Hans Olsen and Scotty G, presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hans Olsen, Scott Garrard. It's a Football Friday, getting you ready for the biggest game of the year. Yes, it is BYU and Texas Tech, number 7 versus number 8, as we're going to get you ready for what should be a fun one. Hey, Thanksgiving's coming up, and if you want the best barbecue, smoked turkey breast, go to Kenny J's Barbecue. KennyJBBQ.com. They'll cook the whole turkey for you. You can come and pick it up on Thanksgiving morning, drive it to your house, present it like you cooked it yourself, and take all the credit for it. They don't care. KennyJBBQ.com. All right, Alema, write the script for me. What are you going to see tomorrow?
It's going to be low scoring. I know that Hans keeps talking about BYU's going to win it like 28-24 or something like that. I just do not see the Texas Tech defense giving up 28 points. It almost seems like an impossibility for that to happen. So I think that BYU wins in a low-scoring affair, and maybe 2 touchdowns and a field goal, maybe a touchdown and 2 field goals, and they surrender, a touchdown and a field goal. They win, and I'm not talking about covering. I'm happy that they're underdogs because I think that's a good mindset to come into the game with if you're BYU. There's a lot of distractions going on in Lubbock, Texas right now. ESPN Game Day is there. I'd much rather have that happen for Texas Tech than for BYU to be dealing with all of that chaos that is going on that's part of that. And I don't remember the last time that they've been in Lubbock, Texas. It's been a long time since they've been there. So it's going to be crazy there. So for the home team, I think that becomes a distraction, and hopefully for BYU it does, because if you're BYU, you're dealing with a time clock issue as far as your body is concerned. Your body clock is going to be a little bit off, and I know that there's preparations gone into that. But the bottom line, all that being said, low-scoring affair. BYU, if they can get 17 or 21 points in this game, I think that they can win the game. But it's going to be reliant on their defense. And so for BYU, I say let's say if I'm going to put a score out there, let's say 21-17 is the final score.
Yeah,
Coach,
well,
where are you going?
I think Alema's right, and I probably made a mistake earlier, in the show when I thought it would be a higher score, and this Texas Tech hasn't given up a lot. So if you're going to beat them, you got to beat them by 3, you got to beat them by 6, but it's going to be a 14-12, 19-16.
And don't be shocked if this thing goes to OT. And it's imperative for BYU that you have to win the turnover battle.
Oh, yeah. The turnover margin will be huge. The special teams will be, there's like 9 factors that you have to cover.
Yes.
And if you can cover 5 of the 9, you probably win.
Yeah.
90% of the time.
Yeah.
But turnover margin is huge.
Yeah.
And how you handle the turnovers, that'll be the key. In other words, on sudden change.
Yeah.
In other words, it should, you get a sudden change. Either if your defense has to go on the field, they better go on the field in the right frame of mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can't go on the field with not again or not this. It's the psychological part of this game is huge.
Well, that wraps it up for us. Gentlemen, enjoy the games
Jeff.
coming up this weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Thanks, everybody.
All right.
Hey, do I have time to plug one thing?
Yes, one thing.
Oh, yes,
Okay.
please do.
Okay, so I'm going to Hawaii this week. Okay, who's playing?
You're going on
Deloitte
Deloitte's
Hansen, and Joey Buchton, who owns the Turtle Bay Golf Course.
Yeah.
Now we're going to put on a event,
big fundraiser
on the North Shore for the hospital, which has been underserved for 30 years.
Yeah.
And what we want to do is do everything we can do to make that hospital better for the people on the North Shore.
Yeah.
So this is a big thing for Joey, for Deloitte, for all these people.
Deloitte, thank you for that. And, Coach, thank you for that. As a guy that is born and raised in Hawaii, thank you for the what you're doing for the people there.
Yeah. So this is awesome, and we're excited for my foundation to be able to do this. So it should be a event.
It's going to be an awesome event.
Yeah. So I've always looked forward to giving something back to particularly that hospital.
Yeah.
Because when you visited people in their homes, all they talk about is how hard it was for them.
You got to go all the way in town.
You got to go in town.
Or Kapiolani Hospital.
Exactly. But if a hospital on the North Shore was more serviceable and did more things, then we could take care of our people.
Yeah.
I love it.
And so
Coach, you're the best.
Okay. Well, anyways.
Thanks,
So
Coach.
that's our deal.
Thank you. Yes,
okay.
Thank you for helping them
Hey,
out.
and then let's move some cars.
Yes.
Let's go.
I'm still waiting for the first
test
person
drive.
to come test drive. Hey, I don't see him.
Test drive with the coach.
Yeah, we go around the block.
Wrap it up, Scotty.
Hey, you're the best, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Coming up next, JJ and Alex straight ahead, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.